right, you're watching the Power Hour. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, along with Tamar. Now, last week, we delved into the topic of personal development, discussing its importance and benefits. Today, we're going to continue our discussion on this important subject. But before we do, let's talk about how to get started on your personal journey.
Yeah. Look, I'm partial to the idea of getting a coach. Of course, I am a personal development coach, but I can
Right.
tell you that when I got started with personal development, it was years before I sought out a mentor. And I was able to make really amazing progress, but it's having the support and the accountability factor that you get from a coach. And when you're in a group, you also get a team of like-minded individuals who are all on a similar path. And that's really where the magic happens. So my recommendation is don't do this alone. Go with somebody who is a product of the product.
Right, right. Now, getting started in personal development, my theory is just do it. And I know people are probably watching saying, well, just do it. Just do what? Just do that thing that makes you, that thing you would rather do for a living, the thing you love, that burning desire you have to be that person you want to be. Just do it. Now, Steve Harvey said it very well when he said, just jump. You have to just jump and
Yeah.
keep in mind you're going to get bruised up, you're going to get battered, you're going to lose a couple of people along the way, but you have to jump into who you want to be. Right? What are your thoughts on that?
I love Steve Harvey. He is a personal development master.
Yeah.
This is somebody who in school had a stutter. And in a letter that they had written early in childhood, saying that they want to be on TV one day, was told by a teacher that that could never happen and that he needs to find a different dream. He ended up living in his car, and
Yeah.
he made the decision for himself that he was going to achieve something really amazing. He created a really clear goal. I think he said something like he wanted 16 acres to have
Mm.
his family live on. And in fact, later in life, he was able to have 160 acres or something like that, because this is a human being who decided that they are meant for better things. He created that goal, and he decided that no matter what, he wouldn't worry about the how, but he was going to go after it. So he's a really wonderful example of making the decision to believe in yourself.
Right. A lot of times, we have to walk through the fire before we can come out on the other end. And you know, being afraid is natural. I mean, you're going to be skeptical on jumping, right?
Yeah.
But when you do, when you take that leap of faith, and you'll be all right. Now, I think the second step in personal development is self-awareness, right? Take time to reflect on your strengths, weaknesses, values, goals, and this will help you identify areas that require improvement and set achievable targets for yourself. Make sure you set achievable targets for yourself. I mean, what do you think about someone setting the bar too high right out the gate? Is that good, or should they just, like I said, set achievable targets?
You want both.
Both.
You want to set achievable targets, what we would call A or B goals. Goals
Right.
you kind of can achieve, because then you get your confidence built up.
Right.
But I am also going to encourage you to dream big. This is where we get into the C goals.
Right.
And you mentioned fear a couple of minutes ago, and your big, huge life goal should scare you. If it scares you, you're doing it right, because you need to have that push to go towards something really huge, and maybe you don't think it will be achievable. You don't need to worry about the how. You need to set that huge goal, and when it scares you and excites you all at the same time, you know you're on the right path.
Right. What about writing down your goals?
Oh my God. Listen, my desk is covered with little sticky notes with my goal. I write out my goal several times a day, every day. When you write it down, you're triggering the neuroplasticity in your brain, and you really are triggering it to go, okay, this is something we want. Let's move towards that. So the act of writing it down can be a really powerful tool. And you talked about the awareness as well. Also, write down the person that you would like to be.
Mhm.
Write down your I ams. Who is the person that you need to be to achieve the goals you want to achieve. Write those down as well, because your subconscious will slowly begin working towards becoming that person.
Right. And also the affirmations are very important. Repeating those affirmations would also help you become who you would like to become in life. Um, it's so many ways and so many things we can talk about on this topic. Celebrate your small achievements. You know,
Please give yourself a pat on the back.
yeah,
You have to, and this is probably what you meant with the achievable goals. You want to be able to give yourself measurable things in the day that make you feel good about where you're going. So you have to also take, if you decide that you're going to even consider personal development, that's a win. You're moving forward, right? It doesn't have to be that you already achieved something huge. Those little baby steps do need to be celebrated. And I'm speaking also directly to entrepreneurs when I say, when you're trying to start your own business, right, you're constantly looking for the next thing and the next thing, because everything is on your shoulders. And it can be really hard to stop along the way and give yourself a pat on the back for how far you've already come. So I invite anybody here who's in that process of starting their own business, or maybe you have your own business and you're not the millionaire yet, that's still okay. You need to celebrate where you're at.
exactly. And also keep in mind, you're going to be uncomfortable when you're starting this on your journey. And that's okay. You have to come out of your comfort zone.
It's great. If you're uncomfortable, you're growing.
You're growing.
There's no growth without discomfort.
Yeah. So you have to be uncomfortable, and you have to put yourself in a position where you're going to win. Now, I want to move on to the psychology of success, strategies for achieving your goals. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So strategy number one, you have to become clear on what you want. People think that they know what they want, but have you written it down? Is there a number on it? Is there a date on it? You need to be extremely specific.
Right.
To help you get there, engage your five senses. What does a day in your future life feel like? What does it look like? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you eating? Who are you with? Engage that process of really tuning into who it is that you want to become.
That you want to be. Regularly visualize yourself achieving your goals. This can create a mental roadmap and increase the confidence and motivation.
Visualization is everything.
Visualization, right.
What you see in your head, you can hold in your hand.
Exactly. Everything is obtainable. Everything is obtainable.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes. People don't realize when we say this, you can have anything you want. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay for, my neighbor or my friend or somebody who's gone to school, gotten an education, has a different opportunity in life. It's just not for me. I don't want to dream too big. No, you can have it.
You can have whatever you want. Now, working a 9 to 5, it's not designed to get you where you want to be in life. It's just designed to keep you right where you are. Everyone is one. If you're working a 9 to 5, you're just one paycheck away from being in a bad situation. I mean, I think we've all been there before. I've been there. So you want to step out of that comfort zone, and it's comfortable. Like I said, you're working a 9 to 5. Your bills are going to get paid. Your rent and light bills. Yeah. So that's your comfort zone. If I go to work every day, I'm able to pay my bills. I'm able to live. When you step out of that, then mentally you're thinking, okay, how am I going to pay my bills if I chase my dream? If I pursue my dream, how is that going to happen for me? You can't think like that.
Yeah, let alone if you're uncomfortable or unhappy at your job, what are you going to do? You're going to look for another job and you're going to do the same thing in a different environment. Look, there's 3 types of income, right? Income number 1 is the 9 to 5. It's trading your time for money. This is 96% of the population who goes to work and trades their time for money. And then if that's not working out, they look for another way to do the same thing, right? Then there's 3% of the population who invests their money. This is now getting better because we're no longer trading our time for money, but we're making our money work for us. Right. This is already when you're starting to tap into the great kind of things that you want to be doing. Now, With investing, a lot of people will say, well, listen, I don't have any money to invest. I'm paycheck to paycheck. But there are creative strategies that you can use. For example, a lot of real estate investors don't use their own money. They raise capital, and then they're able to buy property. And there's strategies and courses that you can learn on how to invest money that you don't even have yet, right? So that's the other. So now we're at 99% of the population. Now there's 1% of the population who have the sweet spot, and it's called multiple income streams. This is where the wealth is. Because when you have more than one source of income, this is where you can have a more passive relationship with money, where you have more coming in and less of your time going out. And again, multiple income streams. So it can be things like affiliate marketing, right? Online right now, you have a huge network of businesses that will pay you money to promote their products, right? Think about how you can do that. Think about how you can learn to invest maybe that little bit of money that you have sitting in the bank earning 3% interest in a TFSA or wherever you have it. Maybe you pull that out and you invest it, and you learn and study from people who have done it before, right? Learning how to build wealth needs to happen from people who have built wealth, right? You don't want to necessarily go to just your bank teller and ask them how to invest the $500 that you have in the standard ways that they invest money. Maybe you're going to go to somebody who is a wealth management coach because they've learned the steps to do that. So once you can tap into more than one income streams, that's really where you can accumulate a lot of wealth. But I would say that you want to go at the very least from that 96% of trading your time for money and find alternate ways to make money.
Right. That's very, 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 very important. Multiple streams of income. It's a great idea. Do you believe that when you have a backup plan, well, should someone have a backup plan? Let's just say someone, this is what I want to do in life, but if that doesn't work, I'll fall back on this. I think once you do that, then you've already failed because you plan to fail.
Yeah, what you're describing is somebody that doesn't quite believe in themselves 100%. Right. And my personal development mentor always says, if you're 99% in, you're 100% out. Because the minute that you start to put systems in place in case things don't work out, you're actually inviting the universe to go, see, you doubted it, it didn't work out. Good thing you had that backup plan, right? It's like that confirmation bias. Right. The universe will show you why you were right to doubt and worry and fear. And it will show you why it was such a great idea for you to be so prepared with your backup plan, because now here you actually do need it. So I would say toss the backup plan aside. Always take care of your family first and yourself, of course. Have systems in place to pay your bills. But outside of that, spend more of your time fostering that belief in yourself and really developing those big dreams and focusing on that.
That's funny. When we say backup plan, a lot of times you hear parents tell their child, they say, well, you want to be a singer, you want to do this. Well, you have to have a backup plan just in case that doesn't work. So now that career that they were chasing never worked. And, they fell back.
My parents would tell you that.
Yeah.
My parents would say, okay, you're thinking of leaving a job. Great. Power to you. Find another job first.
Right.
Because you need to have that stability. And our parents, right, you're describing our parents, and often, we're parents, we have very traditional paradigms of how things should work, right? When we go into our education system, we are taught how to be workers, right? We are taught to learn a specific profession and then finish school and go do that, right? And that profession, 9 times out of 10, is a 9 to 5. Right? With personal development, you're starting to think about things in a slightly more creative way, where rather than starting from the beginning, which is you study, you learn, you get the job, you're actually going from the opposite end, which is what is your goal in life and how do you make that happen? And then you actually don't worry about the how quite yet, which is the part that is completely illogical. But, if anybody follows Bob Proctor, he will always say, we can reasonably strive to achieve 2 to 5%. But when we say to somebody, you can actually achieve 200 to 500%, that's just not logical. It's outside the realm of our logic. However, if you want results that are not logical, you have to do things that are not logical.
Right. Now, I want to talk about the importance. How important is it to set these goals for ourselves?
It's everything.
Yeah.
It is everything, and it is the starting point, because until you become clear on what you want, you're not going to know what you need to do, right? When I start from the end and I understand what my goal and my purpose is, then I'll have those moments of saying, okay, I want to have this at the end, in 2 years, this is where I'd like to be. Now I'm going to take inspired action on the ideas that will get me there.
Yeah. Wow. I really encourage people to grab their life by the horns and figure it out, because like I said last week, we all have a gift.
Yeah.
We all have a gift.
Yes.
Something that we're passionate about. And a lot of times people say, I wish I had $1 million. I wish I could make $1 million. Well, your story, everyone has a story and everyone has a gift. Use that story and use your gift, and there's your $1 million.
Well said.
Well
said. You are so right. We get conditioned to pay our bills and just take care of the day-to-day and live the mundane life, because this is what life is. It's hard and it's a struggle, and you just make ends meet, and that's good enough. No, that's not what life is meant to be. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And like you say all the time, Larry, everybody has things within them that is their own potential that they can unleash.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. So start with that. I would encourage people to start with that. Tell your story. I see so many times on social media where people do their storytelling on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Some of them get like millions of views on it. That's your story. Tell your story,
Yeah. Often the difference between the person that says, I wish I had $1 million, and the person that has the $1 million is that the person that gets it believes that they can have it, believes that there's something that they can do where they will get that $1 million. That's the difference there. It's the belief in yourself.
Yeah. And figuring it out. You have to figure it out. You have to learn what that is, because the answer is right in front of you. It always is.
Yeah.
It just
and I just want to say too, if right now you're watching this and you don't believe in yourself, that's not to say that with the right guidance and support, right? Believing in yourself, it's like a muscle that you can build. You can build that belief, right? Get the right team around you. Reach out to the right people who can help you foster your own belief and really pull out of you what it is that you're good at.
Definitely surround yourself with people, like-minded people who are above, people that are where you want to be and above.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with those people, and
look at our conversations. We have conversations on and off camera, and all of a sudden we have all these ideas spiraling, right? Because we're able to use each other as sounding boards and really motivate one another. And collectively, when you have people who are also, doing great things, oh my God, they bring out all of the amazing things in you.
They bring out the best in you. Absolutely. All right, we are running out of time. You're watching the Power Hour. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, along with Tamar. You're watching Soul TV.